Evam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Okay. Okay. And also just wanted to let you know, the recordings, though I'm putting it on YouTube, as Krishna Kumar has requested, I'm also updating it on my Google Drive. So all from, because these summary classes, sometimes you find it very useful to go back to refer, though the lot of people in the batch one have also got some of them from the previous one, but from batch two, we are really recording more diligently. So the summary class Google Drive share, I will also send it to all of you. So you can refer to, at times you want to do the refer back to the summary classes. So by taking Sri Lord Krishna's Anugraham and Shankari Acharya's Prasadam, Anugraham and their blessings, let's get into the Dashamodhyaya, 10th chapter. The 10th chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. So Vibhuti means, we must just get the small meaning of the heading. Vibhuti means the magnificence as it's expressed in its utmost dimension. You understand? See, in the world, whatever that is the utmost dimension, say for example, today, even I'm just saying, the most utmost ruler who is ruling the country with a maximum power, with maximum power means in the sense maximum army that strength, or say money, everything, right? Money, power, everything booked together. So you would say today, maybe the president of United States. That's just a position. Don't go by any name of the people because it keeps changing. But that itself today is also Bhagavan's Vibhuti, you can say, because he is the most powerful ruler. So, like that, Bhagavan will go into all his magnificence in multifaceted dimensions that are expressed in this world. So that's a Vibhuti. That's all. That's a Vibhuti. And that also Bhagavan will say, of all the rulers, I am also one of the Vibhuti. He will also say. So Vibhuti means whatever that is expressed in, say, in trees, in everything in this creation. So why Bhagavan has named this? So Bhagavan, and as you know, in the summary class, we directly get into the chapter so that you get a gist of it. So the gist of getting the Vibhuti in the sequence of this, the second triplet of the Bhagavad Gita, that is the chapter from chapter number 7 to 12, which is the Ishvara Tattvam. Just for the continuity, what I want you to remember is, as you know, in the chapter 7, when Bhagavan talked about, para prakriti, apara prakriti, everything was in a very tattvic kind of a very abstracted form. That abstracted form of whatever in the knowledge, that as it progresses through every chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11, it becomes grosser and grosser and grosser for perception. So the chapter number 10, it will be more gross in the sense, oh yes, now I can perceive his magnificence through this example. So every example in this world, good, bad, mixed, everything, in that there is nothing else except Bhagavan. And so in the one, he said, I am the cause for everything, right? In the para prakriti, apara prakriti. So the cause, when it is infinite, this is what I want you to take after this class. When the cause is infinite, the effect is also infinite. So again, repeat, if the cause is infinite, Bijam Sanatanaha, Bijam he said in 7th chapter, that means what it grows from there is also not only Sanatanaha, it is also infinite. So there is, the effect is fully filled up with the cause. But Arjuna's thing was also, so in this chapter 10, so I won't go too deep because we have to finish it in 1 hour. This chapter can go for maybe 1 year as well, but we will try to condense it. So the whole 10th chapter is, as I told you, is the expression of Bhagavan's supremacy and his glory in its in a representational form that can be taken with an object, name, form, and everything. And so in this chapter, this can be divided into 3 discrete parts. Okay, as we all do in this summary, we divide the whole chapter into 3 discrete forms, which are useful for us to comprehend the meaning. So number 1, you can take it as we go. Verse number 1 to 12, 1 to 11, sorry, 1 to 11. That is from the Sri Bhagavan Uvacha from 1 up to Arjuna, starting Arjuna Uvacha. This 1 to 11. This one up to 11. This is one portion. This portion is knowing the Ishvara's bhakti, Vibhuti, Ishvara's Vibhuti, that is a magnificence, greatness, philosophically. Then having Bhagavan expressed about his magnificence and everything with a kind compassion. And some of the words we will go, Yatteham Priyamanaya. That is with lot of fond and affection. Hitakamyaya. For your benefit, I am so interested in your benefit, like, the mother. So like that kind of a benefaction. In his benevolence, in his mind, Krishna is giving this teaching. And also what he says, Bhuya eva. Bhuya means again repeating. Repeating what? Okay, that I will come. So 1 to, this is the Bhagavan's Vibhuti, having the jnanam for the moksham. Again, why? The Ishvara Tattva is knowing that knowledge, you also obtain moksha, because that is a easy marga. And Bhagavan said right from the chapter 8, he said, I will give you easy marga. In this one again. And then Arjuna, having understood Krishna's great love and that for his moksham, Jnana Deepena Teshamaham Anukampartam Agyanajam Tamaha Nashaya Mahatma Bhavastaka Jnana Deepena Bhasvata. So he's giving that Jnana Deepa, that knowledge, the light of knowledge, he is lighting it in him. Arjuna is so moved. And then this verse number 12 to 18, there are about 7 shlokas. Arjuna's praise of Lord Sri Krishna, probably one of the best portion what Arjuna praises about Krishna and whole of Bhagavad Gita. So, as we go through this, the speciality on each chapter, I will project it and you can make a note of it. So this verse number 12 to 18, what Arjuna is doing the stuti of Bhagavan is a very beautiful one for us to imbibe by heart, कंठस्थी करके हम भगवान को स्तुतिम करने अच्छा होता है. So this is a beautiful one to do the stuti of Bhagavan. Because Arjuna says, who else will know about a magnificence except yourself? Nobody else would know. Then Bhagavan says, so, and then in that he says, yes, keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi Bhagavan maya. Hey yogin tvam sada parichintayan. So he says, Krishna, Bhagavan, I want to now meditate about you. You're Vibhuti in everything. But how can I meditate? Because when I meditate, I can't meditate on abstract quality. I need something to comprehend, to feed in my mind, so that I can do my complete dhyanam on you. Akandakara vriddhi. Akandakara vriddhi means spreading that Ishvara's magnificence in everything that you want to see after the meditation. For that, you have to meditate in him. How will I meditate? Give me some samples, Arjuna asks. Because I'm so now inclined to sit and meditate on your glory, magnificence. Because he says, as you know, the Jnana Deepa lights. So for lighting that Jnana Deepa in my heart, I want to meditate upon you, and I want to meditate it with some objectification so that my mind, I can put that thought and then express that glory, and then I can be so totally engrossed in your thought. I want to do that, Krishna. Please give me your glory in all that can be expressible, objectifiable. So Bhagavan says, Hantate katai. Hanta means, in Tamil, is Ido ipame. That is, Are Abhi इस वक्त में मैं देता हूं ना, द हंता का इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग वर्ड है. Hanta means, here I'm like, when a child cries, mother says, Hanta, I'll give you the milk. Something like that. Hanta has got that kind of. So Bhagavan starts with the word Hantate Katayishyami. I will give it straight away now itself. And then Bhagavan expresses his glory with examples right from 19 up to the last 42, and he comprehendes it with 42, which are about 24 verses. These 24 verses where Bhagavan objectifies his glory up to the anything that can be objectifiable in different facets of his creation. So this is the three portion what I've told you. And that Ishvara's Vibhuti is for us to facilitate the meditation and absorption of his Ishvara Tattva in us, so that we imbibe that Akanda Akara Vritti. Okay, and that one, if you really see, they are actually about 78. I've counted it, I'll send you them. This Jnanam Jnanavatam Yaham, 38 shloka, where it finishes, up to that there are about 79. 79 Vibhuti Bhagavan says. And each Vibhuti, if you take, it will take 1 week to more, because you have to go into each and every one of those Puranam or stories. We can't go. I'll only exemplify that. So there are 79 Vibhutis Bhagavan expresses in this, through this third portion of that. Okay. So let's come to the first one. So you get the gist of this particular chapter in from a very far lens. So what Bhagavan says, Bhuya eva. So what Bhagavan, why he says Bhagavan Bhuya again? Because what you want to understand is, I don't know how many people understand if I say a word called metadata. Anybody don't understand, just unmute and ask me. Metadata. Anybody do not understand? Okay, I'll explain you. This is just more of an IT term these days. What happens is, when you want to qualify anything, right, in your database or in your program or anything, what we call normally is like a template, which only carries how that object has to be really be. For example, there is an object in your, say, ATO to represent, say, for example, Yatish. They won't say, they don't have to go and talk about Yatish. They would say this person with this kind of a TFN or something like that, and then they make a template in that database. And they are called metadata, or like a placeholder. In that place, you can fill any value, and that will be able to link to the primary database value, and that will be able to process everything. So, in chapter number 7 and 8 and 9, Bhagavan gave you only metadata. Metadata mean placeholders. Though he said, for example, Pranavam, I'm Omkara, but in that all, or I am the taste in the water. They were, even though they were kind of, you could see water, you can sense taste, they are still abstract. So that means they are still in a metadata form. But whereas here he will say, in that water, I am Ganga. Then, okay. Srotasam Janhavi. Oh, in the river, I am like a Janhavi. Then, okay, here is the glory. I can literally see the glory of Janhavi, means Ganga. Oh, I can see Ganga. And so that is why it is Bhavan. Okay. First was some water taste, but that water now Bhagavan says as Ganga. Something he says as Rudra. Something he says as Prahlada, as a Bhaktas. Then, okay, now there is a name, a typical form, a typical object. I can go today and comprehend. And so that is why Bhagavan says Bhuya. So the repetition of Bhagavan's in this Vibhuti is only a objectifying that metadata which has been explicitly given. So in this whole chapter 7 to 9, as you are saying, they are from a very abstract form to it's getting grosser and grosser and grosser. Have a chapter having 10 even more gross with a mental comprehension of object. Then what happens in chapter 11? Completely Vishwarupam. In one form, you see that God in all the magnificence in one form. So you see how the grossification of Ishvara Tattva progresses? That's what I want you to get. So the Ishvara Tattva, by which one can attain moksha, is getting grosser and grosser and grosser. Chapter 11, it becomes completely gross to see Bhagavan with a pratyaksham, all the magnification of his glory in one form, and that's Vishwarupa in the next chapter. And then again, 12th chapter, he comprehends everything as a Jnani Bhakta. Jnani Bhakta, very important. Okay, so Bhagavan in the chapter 7, when he said about the 4 type of Bhakta, Bhagavan's teaching, even through Karma Yoga, is to uplift all of us to the Jnani Bhakta stage. So that is why Bhagavan says this one. Okay, so as I told them, so Krishna begins with this, and as I said, this summary class, even if it goes another 10-20 minutes, please don't mind, because that's the way I can do justice. So Bhagavan says, he's giving out, Arjuna doesn't ask any question. Bhagavan himself continues, and he says, this my Vibhuti, or my supremacy, no one in this, Arjuna, I'm giving it to you out of benefaction and great love, so that you are the instrument through which I'm going to give this nectar to everybody in this world, and that my prabhavam, meaning to say my glory in how it has been expressed in this world, no one knows, not even the Maharshis or anybody, because I am the Adi. I am the one that is the first one from the creation. So anybody who will know before me, nobody will know. Okay, and then if even by knowing my glory, sarva papai pramuchate, that even by remembering his glory, by knowing his name, that it has got the effect of disseminating whatever negative effects we have. Papai means you should not totally take it as sin. The dosha, whatever that is having an obstacles for us to get that knowledge, gets dissipated, get disseminated, gets completely eliminated. And you know, that's what Bhagavan says in one of the one, Harir Harati Papani Dushta Chittairapi Smrtaha. Anichanapi Samsputo Dahatyeti Pavakaha. You know, the fire, whether you know the knowledge this fire will burn me or whether it will not burn me, what is the quality, you touch it, anybody who touches, from a child, from an infant child to anybody, it burns it. Right? Whether knowingly or unknowingly. Same thing, Harinama. Whether you know the meaning of the Harinama or you do not know the Nama, that Nama itself has got that power to remove all the, give you that punyam. So that's why this Bhagavan's Vibhuti's glories have also got that punyam. So Bhagavan giving the Mahatmyam of this Bhagavan's Vibhuti. And in this one, how it is expressed in this world, in the creation, buddhihi, jnanam, and it's a mixture of good, bad, and everything. Right? So the buddhi, they're all of the different dimensions. But what we must understand is they are all the effects of the Triguna Maya. They are just an admixture of different composition of Sattvam, Rajas, and Tamas. They are like buddhihi, jnanam, asammohaha, kshama, satyam, damaha, shamaha, sukam, dukkam, bhavaha, abhavaha, bhayam, abhayam, everything. Ahimsa, samata, tushtihi, tapaha, danam, yashaha, ayashaha, bhavanti bhava bhutana matta eva pratak vidaha. They are all only matta eva, from me. Matta means Bhagavan saying, from me, Vasudeva, that this has come about in different expressions, forms of expression. Everything, intelligence, the knowledge. Then Vairagyam, Asammoha is a Vairagyam. Kshama is a forgiveness. Satyam, truthfulness. Damaha, control of external organs. Dhamma. Shamaha, internal control, tranquilities, in your mind control. Sukam, happiness. Dukkam, you don't have to say. Bhava is a birth origination. Abhava, there is nothing, bhayam, fear, everything. Okay. Ahimsa, samata, tushti. I can't go word by word because it's a, but as you see, the key thing is matta eva pratak vidaha. They are all about from me, the Lord Vasudeva. And how did this all come about from the beginning? Bhagavan goes through a little bit on the creation. Magarshe sapta purve chatvaro manavastata madbhava manasa jata yesham lokam yoka imaf prajaha. This creation, Arjuna, in this loke, or everything, prajaha, sapta rishaya maharshaya. They were the 7 Maharshis. And in this one, now itself, I will give you some context. When we say Rishis in all our Purana, and this chapter is very good for you to take a lot of tips and words, acronyms from the Puranas. When we say Rishis, there are 4 type of Rishis. Who are they? Maharishi, Brahma Rishi, Raja Rishi, Brahma Rishi. I repeat it. Maharishi, Brahma Rishi, Deva Rishi, and then Raja Rishi. These are the 4 type of rishis. The Maharishis are 7, and these Maharishis, they come in every Manvantara. At the moment, the 7 Maharishis are Atri, Bhrigu, Kutsa, Vasishta, Gautama, Kashyapa, Angirasaha. You know, when we do Sandhyavandanam, you call upon Atri, Bhrigu, Kutsa, Vasishta, Gautama, Kashyapa, Angirasaha. You know, so those 7 rishis are in this Manvantara, because there is a Manu, you'll see all the creation. So what Bhagavan says is this, even the Maharishi Sapta Purve Chatvaro Manavastata. What happens is, when, you know, I'll just go in this easy history. So when Bhagavan Sriman Narayana, when he wanted to do the first creation, he creates a Chaturmukha Brahma. The Chaturmukha Brahma, then he creates 4 Kumaras. Sanakaha, Sanandanaha, Sanatanaha, Sanat Kumaraha. But those 4 Kumara, they are the Chatvara, 4 Manava, one from Chaturmukha Brahma. They didn't want to progenate. They said, no, we are not interested in going and getting married or doing anything. We are not going to do. Then Brahmaji goes back to Mahavishnu. He says, don't worry, meditate upon me. I will create 7 Maharishis, and they will then they do the Gotra Pravarana, and then they will progenate. And then those Sapta Maharishis they were born out of the mental bond. That is why Manavastata. From the mental bond, Maharishis again, from Chaturmukha Brahma, and from them Madbhava Manasa Jata Yesham Loka. From them all the Praja, all these people who are now today in the world have all come from that 7 rishis. Then now Bhagavan says, Yetam Vibhutim Yogam Chamavaya Vaiti Tattvaha Sovikambena Yogadi Uchate Natra Samshayaha. So here is where the Vibhuti comes. So Bhagavan says, the creation, its purpose, its expressions in multifaceted one, right from this Chatvara, Saptarishya, and that when you know it Tattvataha, know it philosophically, how this has all come about. Saha Avikampena Yogena Yujyate. Avikampena means there is no doubt in him, undoubted clarity. Kampana means shaking. Avikampana means no shaking, meaning to say very stern, very clear, very no. And with that kind of aprachalinena yogena, matlab samyak darshanam, meaning to say that vision of Ishvara is with lot of clarity. That clarity is what is important. With that clarity, yujyate, that one, he then understands that Ishvara through this yogam. Atra na samshayaha. Don't have any doubt in this. So that is why again Bhagavan says, this knowing my Vibhuti in such a manner is very important. Is the key. And again Bhagavan says, why Bhagavan again will go, how this happens. How the knowledge of knowing Bhagavan gives you that ultimate jnanam. Because moksham is always through jnanam. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarva pravartate matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. This bhava samanvitaha, like all of us, who wants to know samanvitaha, bhava, that Ishvara bhava, in that we want to absorb ourselves knowing his glory with buddhaha. They are also the wise people, having known that, having to take these key factors to know his intelligence, mam bhajante. And how? Aham sarvasya prabhava. That I am the one thus who has been the cause for this whole creation, and that everything today, even that is existing, is because of me. So again, the cause is well pervaded into the effect, and in that effect, I am part of that effect. Having known that in his mind, he is with that bhavam. So the bhavam comes only when we see that Bhagavan's quality today expressed in the nature, expressed in me, outside me. With that, Mam Bhajante. Bhajante, he means literally worships me. And how does he worship these people? Machita Madgata Prana, Bodhayantah Parasparam, Katayantastabam Nityam, Tushyanti Ramanticha. Like what we are doing now. This is exactly what Bhagavan says. Machita Madgata Prana. That having got that chittam is thought and everything only in me. Seeing that is the most useful time that I have to ever spend. Madgata Prana. That that people are even in his breath and limbs, that he is only thinking about that Bhagavan in all his glory. And what is it is Bodhayanta Paramparam. Parasparam means like this, to one another. Hey, you know what, today when I got this one, I was literally looking for something. It suddenly came from somewhere. Look at his karuna. Something like that, and they are expressing this Bhagavan's glory amongst one another. Nityam and thus also taking his glory through lot of Puranas and everything, Kirtana, everything, Nityam Tushyanticha Ramanticha. They are very happy in themselves and they have completely Ramanti. They always take what can I say? Their interest and passion is always towards that. They have that happiness because of that. They are passionate towards me. Passionate towards that Vishwara Tattvam. And Bhagavan says, once they express that kind of a bhakti and that kind of a thing with wise knowledge of my Akantakara Vritti, Desham Satadayuktanam Basatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yena Mamupayantite. How do Bhagavan reciprocate his love after you have done? He says, I will now bless you with the knowledge. Yes, we want that Ishvara's reciprocation of. So, how do we get the Ishvara's reciprocation of love? By that Jnana Vritti, Buddhi Yoga. Aha, I'm now able to, your mind becomes subtler and subtler. You are able to now, it can come today, artificial intelligence, generative intelligence, regenerative intelligence. All these things, but in all of them you see his glory. They may say, oh, the world is going to change with the AI, with the regenerative intelligence and everything. But then even in that, you see his glory. And then not only that, that Buddhi Yogam, through the Shastram and Guru Pramanam, the Guru comes and teaches him. He sends him that Guru. And so Bhagavan says, that which people who are ever so passionate and in Kirtana with me, having understood my Ishvara Tattvam, that Priti Purvakam, very important, with utmost love and their happiness. First, you must be happy. You are not making Bhagavan happy. That's the main thing Bhagavan wants to say. You don't need to make me happy. Bhagavan says, I am ever happy. But pehla tum Bhagavan, bhakta, tum tush ho jao. Tum ramanti ho jao. If you are happy and you have got that passion, absolutely that's enough for me. With that, when you want to know more, when you want to do more, then he says, that Buddhi Yogam, I give you that. Through the means that will come to your, knock your door. Yena, with that, Mam Upayanti. Yanti means, I told you, right? You travel. Upayanti means, Upa means something together. What is that together in the journey? This Buddhi Yoga. And with that Buddhi Yogam, Bhagavan, he says, I kindle the light of that knowledge in him. Desham Devanu Kampartam. Because he says, Anukampa Yogena. That Anukampa Yogam, how does it, you remember that words? He says, right? So Avikampena Yogena. That Avikampena Yogam is nothing but a Jnana Deepam. That's what says Anukamparta. Anukamparta means with a kind benevolence on him, with that having the compassion on him. Tesham Evam Anukampartam. Aham Ajnanajam Tamaha. How do I do it? By living the knowledge, that light, Jnana Deepaha. In that Jnana Deepaha, If you take a deepa and take a simile, that oil is nothing but that Bhagavan's grace. And the wick is that Atma Bhavastaha. This Atma Bhavastaha, because you have Atma Bhavastaha. Atma here, Atma Bhavastaha means it's in one person's identity, that you have taken that one God, Ishvara, in him, and then you want to meditate upon him. So the Atma Bhavastaha is the wick, that the thread, or that, the one in the deepa. And the oil is Bhagavan's grace. And the one who lights it is the Guru. And with the Guru, once he lights it, the Jnana Deepam effulges. And that Jnanam is the Viveka, Vairagya, with which you attain the moksha. This 9, 10, and 11 will be very useful right up to the end of Bhagavad Gita. Acharya Shankaracharya also keeps referring into that. So then Arjuna is so happy now that now he is very sure that Bhagavan is going to light that knowledge in him. And then he praises Bhagavan in all the glory. He says, Krishna, hey Bhagavan, hey Bhavan Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram. That's why I said Pavitranam Pavitram Jo, Mangalanam Cha Mangalam. In Vishnu Sahasranam, Bhagavan says that one purifies. And Purusham Shashvatam Dipyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Ajam means you are the one that is the first one, that you are unborn. Ajam Vibhuhu Ahuhu Agustvam Rishayas Sarve Devarshi Narada. So you see now Devarshi has come. There was Maharishi, Saptarishi. Here Devarishi, Narada. Okay, Devarishi Naradas Tata Asito Devalo Vyasaka Swayam Chaiva Brivishime. You yourself have told me now that you are the Param Dhamma, you are the Param, everything in this, and you yourself did that. And he says, Hey Krishna, Sarvametat Ritam Manye. Ritam means that absolute truth. I know everything is absolute truth. I have no doubt in this, Krishna. Sarvam etat ritam manye. That's what I am मानता हूं. अब जो बोला है सब सत्य है. अब मैं इसे मानता हूं. ये मानिए. Yenmam vadasi Keshava, whatever you are telling me, Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim, Vidur Deva, na Dhanavaha. Yeah, no one, Bhagavan Vyaktim. Vyaktim means that what it is manifested in this world, its glory, no one knows. Na viduhu, na viduhu. No one knows who. Deva Dhanavaha. Devas are the gods, Dhanavaha is the Rakshasas. Both the Devas and Rakshasas, they do not know about your glory. The Maharshis do not know, but you yourself. And then says, Swayamevatmanam Veta, Tvam Vetatvam Purushottama, Swayam Eva Atmana Atmanam Veta. You are the only one who knows it by yourself of your glory. Bhuta Bhava Bhutesha Deva Deva Jagatpati. You are the Jagatpati. You are the for the whole world. You are the ultimate ruler of all, everything in this creation. And Bhuta Bhavana, whatever today there is some expression in this world, I'm just rushing through, but it's okay, Stuti. But it is very good for you to tomorrow go through some of the meaning and then contest them. Very good, these are all. So this Ishvara is Aishwaryam. Aishwara means this Ishwaram, from the words come Aishwaryam. That your ultimate lordship of the Bhuta Bhavana, Bhuta Isha, that's what I said. Vibhuti is all about the Aishwaryam, that Isha, that lordship. You only know about it. And I wish to know. Bhakta Margasya Seshayana Divya Hatma Vibhutaya Yabir Vibhutibir Lokan Imam Stam Vyapatishtasi. Bhakta Margasya Aseshayana, without leaving one bit, Divya, your effulgent, Atma Vibhuti. Vibhuti becomes in plural. Vibhuti, Hari Harau, Vibhutau, Vibhutayaha. So it's a plural. So your Vibhutayaha, your multiple, that magnificence, glory, Aseshana, without leaving anything, Divya, Yabir Vibhuti min Lokan, Vyape Ivam Samchittasi. Bhaktu Margasya Seshena. By which you are now pervading everything. Aseshana Bhaktum Tvameva Arhasi. Here. You are the only one qualified. Arhasi means qualified. Bhaktum Arhasya. Arhasi is here. Bhaktum Arhasi is this Arhasya. Arhasi means what? They say arhatai. Arhatai means qualification. Only you are qualified. You are only qualified to reveal your Vibhuti in all its magnificent form without leaving one bit. In how Vyapya Tishtasi, how you are now today there. And why do I want to know? He says, Katam Vidyamaham Yogin Twam Sada Parichintayan, Keshu Keshu Bhaveshu Chintyosi Bhagavan Bhaya. Katam Vidyamaham. How will I know? Because a yogin, you are a Parama Yogi, Sada Parichintayan. Every time, whether I am working, whether I am going to do this war, or tomorrow when I am going to sleep, or when I am going to eat, in whatever I do, Sada Parichintayan. I want to always be engrossed in this, your Vibhuti. How keshu cha bhaveshu, in whatever forms of expression you are there, maya Bhagavan maya, by me chintyosi. Katam vidyam, because I want to meditate upon you in these forms of expression all the time. Not just like for 10 minutes a day or half an hour in a day, but I want to see your glory as I'm perceiving this world in every minute. And that is how I'm going to get that Jnana Deepam in the Akanta Akara Vritti. Vistarena Atmano Yogam Vibhutim Cha Janardana. Bhuya Kataya Triptirhi Shunvato Nasti Me Mritam. So Bhagavan started as Bhuya. Right? Catch these words. Bhuya. He says, I'm going to say. So Arjuna knows there is something else Bhagavan is going to say. He hasn't said. And he says, Bhuya Kataya. Kataya means it's in, tell me, please tell me. Bhuya Kataya, please tell me that you are wanting to tell me again something that about your Vibhuti, Vistarena, in detail. In detail, please tell me. He Janardana, Atmanaha Yogam, Vibhutim cha Bhuyaha, Vistarena Kataya. He Amritam. He, because it's Amritam, it's a nectar. Shunvataha. Shunvataha me triptigi nasti. Because that nectar is so sweet that I can't say I've had enough with this, because that my thirst, my quench for knowing is, I do not know whether that my quench will be fulfilled even by listening to this. So please fill my thirst. I'm like a vacuum inside, longing to hear your plea. So having understood this complete surrendership and his Vishwasam, he said, Satyam Rutam Manye, with that Vishwasam and everything, when the Arjuna as a Bhakta, we seek for his Jnana Deepam. That's why I said these are very good for by hearting. Then Bhagavan says, Hantate Kataisham. Having now absorbed your studentship qualification, Arjuna, I will now reveal to you immediately all my Vibhuti, which are about 79, which I told you. And in that, what Bhagavan says, Pradhanyataha. Pradhanyataha, what is the one that is utmost? I will tell you. But na asti antaha vistarasya me vistarasya anti na. There is no end to it, Arjuna. So I can't tell you everything. Bhagavan is very clear in every time when he says, right? You look at this one. This is what you have to appreciate from the Guru. When he asks, he says, yes, I will tell you. I'm not, but he says, keep on telling me Vistarena. He says, no, I'm not telling you Vistarena. You see that one? No time, Arjuna, because you have to start fighting as well. But I will give you what are the most important ones, which are enough for you to take key hold and then go. Kurusreta. Pradhanyataha. That which is the important, which stand out, utmost of all those glory, I will give you that, because there is no end to my glory that I can keep on telling you. And then first one, Bhagavan says, from here onwards, everything is Vibhuti in each one of them. Time is 4:45. Okay, I'll try to finish before 5:30. And these are 79. They can go like a story, each one of them, but we are not going to each one of them. And Bhagavan, the first one is what you have to take for me, very, very important. Aham Atma Gudakesha. This is a Mahavakyam. Arjuna, all of you, is saying, you know what is my utmost Vibhuti? I am that Atma. Aham Atma Gudakesha. meaning to say, I am that, the utmost vibhuti of mine is my Pratyagatma, that I am that Atma in you, in everyone, in the anything that is existing in this world, that I am that Atma, and the same Atma in me, that Brahma Jnanam is that Atma. So the first thing that you have to really take, Arjuna, is that I am that Atma. Go internally first. Seek him through your internal quest. That where is that Atma? Where is that Bhagavan who said, I am Atma, Aham Atma Gudakesha, Sarva Bhutashaya Stitaha. Though I am there residing in the heart of every being, in every being, Sarva Bhutashaya Stitaha. Okay, of everything that in this world, that inside whatever that remains, if you think the effect, because the cause, the seed, if you think how it is pervaded through the whole thing, it's pervaded through one thing called Atma. So the Akandakara Vritti, the seed is Atma. And then he says, Aham Adischa Madhyam cha Bhutanam Antayevacha. And though when I have spread in this my glory, that is the beginning, that's in the middle, and that's at the end as well. So, because in this creation, there's a beginning, there's a middle, and there's something that in the middle, and then there's a end. Only creation has got. In the creation, I'm there from the beginning, in the middle, and everything. And that's how the Atma is pervaded through everything that has been existing in this world. Okay. And then from there he goes. Adityanam. So that's one finished. Next, probably I will send you that one. I have a printout of that one. I will send you that one tomorrow. So you can do the homework to say how the 79 has come about. Okay. Okay. Then I am Atma, Bhutanam, Adi Madhyam, Anta. Only two we have finished. So then Adityanam Aham Vishnuhu. That means he says of all the Adityas, that is a plural. The Adityanam Aham Vishnu. So that means we know Aditya means sun. There is only one. How come he says there are so many sun or what? No. See, this is where I'll just give you some Purana. Kashyapa Maharishi, he had two wives, Aditi and Diti and Aditi. Diti. So this Aditi is supposed to be the better of the two. It's always in this Puranas, there are some qualities. So all the people, they were born to Aditi, they are called Aditi. Aditi, right? You remember? Whomsoever from the mother's name, then it comes, right? So Aditya means that which is born out of Aditi being the mother, Kashyapa being the father. So they are all Aditya. In that Aditya, I am like a Vishnu, he says. So there was 12 Aditya who are born out of this Aditi and Kashyapa. They are like Data, Mitra, Anyama, Shukra, Varuna. Lot of them are there. Okay. So that 12 sons, Vishnu. So this is not a Mahavishnu that you should think about. This is one Vishnu. There was one person named Vishnu in that 12 Adityas. In that Bhagavan, he says, I am the one called Vishnu. He is the chief amongst that Aditya, 12 Adityas. So I am there as a Vishnu in Aditya. So then you go to the story and then see what is the Mahima of that person Vishnu. Then Jyotisham Ravi Amshuman. Now Ravi he comes. Ravi is the real Surya. So Jyotisham, that which lights this world grossly. I am like the sun. Amshuman. Jyotisham Amshuman Ravihi. Of all the divine things in this world which remit any rays, like a sun, moon, lightning, star, fire, everything, I am the sun. And we know that, right? He is the chief of emitting rays in these objects. We can't even imagine the sun's luminance, the candescence, the amount of light or heat or energy. That much is there. And he says that you take him as a Amshuman Ravihi. I am like the, now this is the Ravi. This is the Aditya that we all think about. That sun. I am like a sun. And then Marutam Marichihi. So Marut is normally wind. Same thing. From that wind god is born Hanuman. That's why it's called Maruti. So there are about 49 wind gods. There are about 49 wind gods. In that 49 wind gods, I'm the Marichi. I am like Marichi. Then Nakshatranam Aham Shashi. Shashi means the moon. So you can think moon is not a star. How does Bhagavan says, I am among the stars, I am the moon. What Bhagavan says is, though there are so many stars in this world, which are the 27 stars we say, that is basically from not the galaxy stars. In normally the stars like, all the Pushyan, Nakshatra, Ashwini, Rohini, that Nakshatra we call. They are all actually, their quality gets up or down because of the motion of moon. From that aspect, you should not take it literally from a sky and put it physically as all the stars and then say, but today in astronomical science, moon is not a star. How did Bhagavan say in Bhagavan? No. Here what Bhagavan means, nakshatra is the 27 stars, which determines your quality of life. And so many things, everybody has got a star. And those stars are all determined by their effect by the lunar, that is a moon. That is why we follow lunar calendar. Our Jyotish, that is our everybody's thing is also determined by the moon. So he says, I am the moon by which this whole world is operating in one. And that is also very good. And also sun is very good for meditating. Mind is nothing but sun. Though you are all born of different stars, your mind, because Arjuna asked for meditation. So to help in that meditation, Sashi is the best for meditation. Meaning to say moon, because mind is completely impelled by moon. So by taking moon in your mind, for while meditating, he as a Krishna or as a Ishvara or as Ambal, that is the best factor for your meditation. So that's why Bhagavan is taking Sashi as the of all the nakshatra. And Vedanam Sama Veda. Of all the 4 Vedas, so I'm only giving a gist of supremacy. Then of all the 4 Vedas, he says, I'm the Sama Veda. Because see, of all the Vedas, Rik and Sama are like a husband and wife. Sama is like, Rik is like a, just with not much swaras. Sama Veda is the same words of Rik Veda, only in Saptaswara. And that Samaveda, when Rik is chanted with the Samaveda Saptaswaram, becomes a beautiful chant and which expresses everything in the glory. So that is why Samaveda is very special in its. So it's Samaveda special for Mahavishnu, for Paramashiva, and everybody. So Samaveda's got a speciality of all the 4 Vedas from that speciality. And even Chandogya Parishad talks about that the speech plus Samam, when it is with a prana, when it is done, it represents the Omkara, Pranavam. So that is why Samaveda. And Devanam Vasavaha. Vasava means Indra. Of all the Devas, the king is Indra. So here all about the lordship, right? Because Ishvara's Aishwaryam is what? Vibhuti. So who is the king of all that one? Indra. So that Indra's quality of lordship, how does it come? From Bhagavan. So Bhagavan himself is there as a Indra. So the Indra's lordship comes only because of Bhagavan. So he says, Devana must be Vasavaha. Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Of all the Pancha, the Pancha Karmendriyam, Pancha Jnanendriyam, and who is the ruler of those mind? One is mind. Because all these Jnanendriyam and Karmendriyam, the best place for them, and they are all acted by the thought from the mind. Mind is the ruler of all these 10 Indriyas. So the lordship of mind, which is for all the Indriyas, who is the Lord? Mind. Who is the Lord of mind? Buddhi. Right? So, but anyway, here for the Indriyas, because Indriyanam Paranyagu, Indriya Paramara Manasattamara Buddhi. Shouldn't forget the 3rd chapter. But having said that, here, Indriyanam Manaha, the Lord of all the Indriyas are the Manaha, and that Manaha is Manaha. That lordship for the mind is nothing but me. So everywhere you have to take the lordship, not just take that one particular, because as I told you, this is just only an object. But the metadata remains in the lordship. Okay. So Manaha. Then Bhutana must be Chetana. Of all the creation in this world, living beings or everything, and how does that come? That Chaitanyam, that experience, right? The mind could be there. But if that Chetana is even more than that, meaning to say that intelligence, the capacity to cognize, the capacity to realize, right? That Chetana is what Bhutanam. I'm Chetana Asmi. Chetana means the capacity to know or to experience, cognize. So that's why Bhutana must be Chetana or the Chaitanyam. That don't take the absolute Chaitanyam. Here the intelligence, capability to know. Okay. And then Rudranam Shankaraha Asmi. Oh, I know only one Rudra, we say Rudra, but here Bhagavan says Rudranam, how many Rudras are there? So there are 11 Rudras supposed to be. Of the 11 Rudras, I am the Shankaraha. Shamkaraha iti Shankaraha, meaning to say one who always does the good. Sham means Shanno Mitra Sham. So Sham means that good, the most benevolent, most auspicious. Karaha means one who does that. So that is Shankaraha. So of all the 11 Rudras, I am as a Shankaraha. Then Vittesha, Yaksha Rakshasam Vittesha. Yaksha Rakshasa means Yaksha and Rakshas. Rakshas is actually Rakshas. Okay. Rakshas and Rakshas both are same but two different words. So what is the difference between Yak and we says Vitteshaha is a Kubera. So I am the Kubera among the Yaksha and the Rakshas basically. So what is the difference between Yaksha and Rakshas? That we need to know just quietly. They are nothing but subtle spirits. You know, the spirits as we call in this world. There is so Yaksha is a protecting spirit. Rakshas is a destroying spirit. That's all you should know. Okay. Yaksha means protecting spirit, good spirit. Rakshas means that spirit destroys. That is why in temples and all, you will see they will put Yakshini as Dik Devatas, guarding. So the Yakshas are, but these are spirits which we do not know to handle. In Kerala, if you go, they handle this like no man's business. They have these ones, tantric, do all those things. But we don't have to go all that. But just to know for the knowledge that Yaksha is a protecting spirit. They are all the spirit forms, and Rakshas are different, of which I'm Kubera. Kubera is the one for wealth. He's a Yaksha, basically. Vittesha, Kubera is a Yaksha who protects the wealth, and he's the one. So that's a Yaksha Rakshasam Vittesha, and he's a good. He always gives the Kubera gives the wealth to the right people all the time. He's a very nice person. That's all, Vittesha. And Vasuna Pavaka Asmi. Vasuna means there are 8 Vasus. Of those 8 Vasus, I am Pavakaha, Agni. Because that of all the Vasus, that Agni is the one through which all the Devas and everybody gets that Ahuti. There are other Vasus, but they don't have that capability. But Pavakaha, that is Agni, is the one, because for all of us in our Sanatana Dharma, as much as water is important, Agni. And because Agni has got the biggest medium of taking that and giving it to even to Ishvara, whatever we offer directly. See, because the thing is, when we do a Nevedyam and everything, we do it with a Bhavana. But with Agni, when you do Ahuti, it is immediately taken to Bhagavan and to the Devatas, to everybody. So everybody in this world, in our Sanatana Dharma, they are being propitiated through Agni, so that Pavakaha, that is Agni, has got a great Mahima of all the Vasus. There are about 8 Vasus. I'm not going through each one of them. And then Shikarinam Shikarina means of all the peaks, I am the Meru. Of the peaks or the mountain peaks, So this Meru peak, where it is lot of debatable. And I've heard from Swami Omkaranda, many people, they say the Meru peak is actually in Norway, they say. Because of certain description that's given in our Vedas and also in the Aruna Prashna, people have read it. So in the Meru is the one, by that peak is the one which, the Garuda brings it when they want to churn the ocean. So that's the one they used to churn the ocean. So that was very important at that time, even to give the nectar by which everything was calm. So that peak has got a very special speciality, and that speciality of that peak, the mountain peak, which is Meru, is Bhagavan says, I am that one who have that ability to do that kind of a thing, because every other peak would have broken into brittles, but Meru is the one who was able to withhold it. Okay, then Purodasamcha Mukyam Mam Vitti Partha Brihaspatim. Purodas means is Purohit. Right, the one that to comes as in a human form to have you with that Agni or do any puja and everything, to do your propitiating all the puja. He says, I'm the Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the one who is the auspicious Purohit for Indra. Okay, Brihaspati. So he says, who is the, he is the Mukyam, he is the one who is the chief of all the Purohit. So that chief lordship of that Purohit of his Brihaspati comes from me. So I'm there in that Brihaspati as the chief of the Purohit. And Sena Ninamaham Skandaha. Sena means of all the chief of armies. Of all the chief of army, I am as a Skandaha, which is Kartikeya or Subramanya. That is why we call him as Sena, Skanda Senapati, we say, right? Skandaha. So, Senapati. So, he is the one, because for all the Deva Sena, he is the one by which all that Rakshas were killed. So, Kartikeya is as the chief of army in the whole creation. And Sarasa must be Sagaraha. Saras means water, any water bearing particle in this world. And that is why Sagaraha, which is ocean. Ocean is also known as Saratpati. Means all the rivers or whatever water that's collected from rain or anything which comes from a glacier or everything, end of the day, they all go to the ocean as if they are all destined to go to the ocean. Right? So for them, the Lord, for all the water-borne particles in this world that generated, the end of the factor is ocean. And that ocean, like how all these things go, that lordship of the ocean comes from me. So Bhagavan says, I am that ocean whose lordship is for all the water-borne particles in this world. And I said, Maharshinam Briguhu Aham. So I told you, right? There are different type of rishis. In this Maharshihi, I am as a Brihu. Because Brigu's daughter is Mahalakshmi, which Mahavishnu also married. So if he is like a father-in-law of Mahavishnu, and that means that Maharshi has got a special place. And so he says, Maharshinam Briguhu. And Giram Ekamaksharam. Giram Asmi Ekamaksharam. What is Ekamaksharam here? Om, Pranavomkara. Gira means of all the words. Gira. Gihi Shabdaha. Gir Shabdaha is what? Is Giraha. Gihi Girau Giraha. Like that it goes. Okay. So it's called Gir Shabdaha, Repanta Shabdaha. Okay. So the Gira means of all the words, as I stand out as the syllabi Om. Omkara. Om is the standing out words of everything that is spelt in this world. And that is me. That is why you see everyone, even these Christians, they say Amen. Only thing these Muslims say Amin. But that Omkaram, which originally came from Sanatana Dharma, which is the one of all, that is the ultimate word. That's Omkaram. And even then, I think the Sikhs, they say Ekonkar. So for all the words that could come in this world, Omkaram remains as that one that is chief among everything. And that is, Bhagavan says, that lordship of all the words is me. And yajnanam japa yajna. Of all the yajnas that you can do, he says japa is the most effective, most simple. It doesn't require any vastu. It doesn't require any place. All it requires is for you to chant just with your simple fingers or a bead. And he says that yajna that you can do with the mental manifestation of that, with that Ishvara while doing, not just doing da 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 da. Hey, udhar coffee ho gaya, arey udhar mein ye ho gaya. Not like that. Not doing a japa, talking about, oh, time ho gaya, abhi arey tiffin ready ho gaya. Not like that. Japa means completely doing the japa, thinking about the devata or the nama into which you are doing a japa. That kind of a japa, he says, I am the one that japa. And Stavaranam Himalaya. Of all the immovable objects in the creation, I am like a Himalaya, he says. Because I believe it has got the divinity of everything, like Parvati is from Himavan Putri, right? And then what happened? Parvati is from Himavan Putri, and then our Kailash mountain is also there. So everything is there in that Himalaya. So he says, and even from they say there are so much treasures in this Himalaya that nobody can even observe this. But because Himalaya is such a divine hill, so he says, Thavaranam Himalaya. Even for Chinese, it's supposed to be very divine. And so in all the immovable object that we can say. And Ashwataha, Sarva Vrikshanam Ashwataha. Of all the trees, I am like the peepal tree. And in the peepal tree, what we say is also, in the peepal tree, one of the main thing is Mule Vishnu Sthito Nityam Skande Keshava Evacha Narayanastu Shakasu Patreshu Bhagavan Harihi Pale Pyachyuto Na Sandekaha Sarvadevai Samanvitaha. So meaning to say, in that peepal tree, in the root is Mahavishnu, in the trunk is Keshava, and in all the branches is Narayana, and in every patram is in the leaf is Hari, and in the fruit is Achyutaha. So that is how the Ashwatha tree, the peepal tree, is, because it is in every portion of it. It is Vyapakam of the Ishvara. Ashwatha Vriksha, or the peepal tree, is considered to be Mahavishnu himself. And Devarshi Namcha Naradaha. So now Devarshi has come. Of all the Devarishis, the rishis who is among the Devas all the time, of them Naradaha, because Narada is so close to Bhagavan, and that he is the one who has got access to Bhagavan at all the time, and is a great bhakta. So for all the devotion, bhakti and everything, so Naradaha, yeah, and his that kind of a lordship that he had among the bhaktas, that Bhagavan says, I am that one. And Gandharvanam Chitradaha. The Gandharvas are all there in the Devalokas. They are professional in their singing, their art, fine arts, culture, dance, and everything. They are supposed to express the art, fine arts in the utmost form. In that, there is one person called Chitraratha. The Chitraratha is the one who teaches all these people. He is like their guru, Gandharva. And he is the one, Chitraratha is the one who teaches Apsaras, everybody dance, singing. So he says, that one to whom all the Gandharvas bow down to, that Chitraratha is also me. And Siddhanam, the Siddhas means one who have done a lot of efforts, the self-efforts, like Yataya, in that, and then they have attained their Siddhi. Siddhi means they have achieved something in that. In that, the people have achieved a lot of siddhis by their efforts. I am like the Kapila Muni. The Kapila Muni come in that Sankhya in Bhagavatam, people would have known. And Kapila Muni in that Sankhya also is that he is himself a Mahavishnu's avatar. So he says, in all the siddhas, I am like the Kapila Muni, who is in Bhagavatam as well. And in the Ashwana means of all the horses. Of all the horses, I am like the Uchchaishravas. Uchchaishravas came out of the ocean when they were milking the ocean. So Ashwanam Amrutotbhavam, so from that nectar which came out from the ocean, that one beautiful white horse which came with the 7 heads. And that 7 heads, that Uchchaishravas Ashwa is what they say. The sun has it, while the sun you have with the 7 heads horse, and that they say is Uchchaishravas. But sometimes some people say Indra also took it, but I don't know. It is maybe sun god who has got it. And then Gajendrani, of all the elephants, I'm the Airavatam. That Airavatam is that white elephant which Indra has. It has got like 10 tusks and 5 trunks, and it's white in color. So that Airavata elephant, which is such a divine one, which cannot be seen anywhere, which Indra has got, that is also me. And Naranam cha Naradipam. That's what I said. Of all the humans, if somebody says, I am the mightiest, I am the person who has got the utmost command to do anything in this earth, that he says, that kind of a lordship, that is also comes from me, that Mahavishnu, he says. The utmost worship. And also we say that is why in our Sanatana Dharma, any king is also a representation of Ishvara. And that happens even in, you can see, right? Even that guy Charles, right? When he was going crown, then they brought, it's only a, what do you call it? They break that holy oil and all, and they also do all that thing because they consider him to be the Lord. So that is there throughout the world. So that Ishwaratvam in a person who is going to be a king is also coming from Bhagavan. And Ayudhanam Aham Vajram. Vajram means actually the backbone. But what happens is, this is one called Marichi. Dadichi, sorry. That Dadichi Rishi, he did a lot of tapas. With that, his backbone became such a big one that it can never be broken. And it was the sharpest one. And then he gave that to Indra. And that Vajrayudham, that is the strongest of all the weapons in the world. And that's a Vajrayudham of that sage Dadichi. And Denunam Asmi Kamadukha. Of all the cow in this world, I am like the Kamaduk. Kamaduk was a Kamadenu, basically Kamadenu. That Kamadenu was the cow, which was also in that house of Jamadagni and Vasishta. So that could give whatever you want. Kamaduk means Icha, that is, you want a bucket of tomorrow, anything you want, immediately. For that many people to feed, it will be able to feed. Anything. Right from Puliyodara, Tair Sadam, everything. Whatever you want. Vada, you want naan, chapati, kulcha, whatever. Everything it can give, not only just milk. So that one is Kamaduk. And that is the Denunam, is the Kamaduk. And then Prajanaha Kandarpaha Aspi. That is, Prajanaha means that which can propitiate, that which can give a birth to someone. Right? So in this human life, whatever that birth happens because of only the Kamadeva, Kandarbha, that he has to give that kind of a progenation energy in the man and the women so that the progeny can happen. So that is why that Manmatha is so important in the procreation of human beings. He is an chief of procreation of people in this world. So that lordship of that is the one that comes is from me. And Sarpana must be Vasukihi. Vasuki is that, the snake around Parameshwara's neck. And that, of all the serpents, I am like that Vasuki, which is around the Parameshwara's neck. And then immediately, Anantas Chasmi Naganam. This Naganam is the hooded snakes. See, both Mahavishnu is also sleeping in snake. Parameshwara also is having the snake. The snake and Bhagavan are very close. For a snake is a very, very, very divya in the creation. That is why they are very close to Bhagavan. So that is why snake we consider as very, very, what can I say, divine. Even the Chinese consider snake as divine. Only thing they eat it also. That's the only difference. So Anantas Chasmi Nagana. At least today, I think this year for them is the snake year. At least this 1 year, there is no snake year. Would they say, okay, this year we are not going to eat snake? I don't know. They will not. Maybe they'll eat more. Who knows? So, Anantas Chasmi Naganam. Aham Naganam Anantaha. Of all the hooded snakes, that Ananta, you know that Ananta Shayana, that Ananta is the Naga in which Bhagavan Vishnu lies. That is also, he says, it's me. And he is the one that Patanjali is also attributed to him. Patanjali Maharishi came from him, they say. So, in the Patanjali Sutra and everything that we have, and even for Sanskrit, what is done, Bhashyam, everything is from that Anantaha. And Yadasam Aham Varunaha. Yadasam means the one that can generate water in this world. One that can generate water in this world, I am like the rain. So, because the rain god is also called Yadasampati. And so before even the clouds can bear the water particles and everything, and then they have to give that one, the rain which comes out of that by merging. He says that rain by which the whole world flourishes is me. And Pitrunam Maryamacha Asmi. There are 7 clans of Pitrus, Pitruloka. In that, I am like the Pitrunam Aryama. There is one called Aryama. There are a lot of Pitrus in the Pitrulokas. There are seven clans of Pitrus. In that, one of them called Aryama. I do not know why his speciality, but Aryama, Bhagavan says, if we probably have to read those Puranam, maybe I do not know. But he says, I'm Aryama against all the Pitru, the 7 clans of Pitruma. In Samyatam Aham Yamaha. This is very nice. Samyata means, Sama means we said, right? Indriya Nigraham. So the Devas, Samyamatam, Devas are not that good in doing mind control. So, but among the Devas who can do the ultimate mind control and remain unperturbed by any factor is Yamaraja. That is why he's called Yamadharmaraja. That, the Kala, that is the one who determines our death. That Yamadharma Raja, he is the ultimate of all the Devas, he says, because he has got the highest control over his manas. Yamaya Dharmarajaya Mrityave Shantakaya Cha Vaivasvataya Kale Sarabhuda. We say that every day to even pray unto him. So, and he is the one who gave that knowledge, Brahmajnanam, to Nachiketas. So, Yamadharma Raja is in that aspect, Bhagavan says, that lordship by which he is able to control everything, impartial, like a Bhagavan, that is come from me. He says, Yamadharma Raja is very special to me. And Daityanam Prahladaha Asmi. Daitya, I told you that Kashyapa had 2 wives, Diti and Aditi. So the one who was born out of Diti, they are called Daityas or Danavas sometimes. They are all Rakshas actually. But among the Rakshasas came the greatest Bhakta of Mahavishnu, who is Prahlada. You see, that's why it doesn't matter. We say Ashura or Deva, but in that there is a good attribute which comes. That's what Bhagavan wants to say in this one. This whole Vibhuti yoga is for us to see the good in everything. In the utmost bad also, there is something good. Look into that. That is there where I am there. Or in the something of an admixture, also there is something good. Look into that one, in that magnificence. And that, if you will be able to see in your vision, I am there. So when we look at all the Asuras, we look at Prahlada, who is better than any Devas we have seen. And these the Krishnas, Narayana Bhakta. He says, I am the Prahlada among Daityanam. And Kalaha Kalayatam. Kalayatam means here, this Kala is not the Yama. Okay, this Kala means this is the time. So, because the time itself, if you really see, it's neither be finite nor infinite. We try to go to the finite ship of in the time, but the time slips away. So he says, even by meditating on time as me, in the finitest of the finitest of the second, or the longest of the one. If you look at, imagine me, he says, I am there as a time. So I am represented as a time. In this kalaha means time. I'm in this whole world existence represented as a time. Mriganam cha mrigendroham. I am like that lion among all the animals. And as he says, because he's the lord of all the jungle, they say. So in that lordship, if that comes to the lion, that also comes from me. And pakshinam, in all the so that's also good. Mriganam Mrigendraham. This one also I kind of, when we see this one, Mrigendroham, we say Lord Narsimha also can be taken in that, because Prahlada has come. So in the same shloka, you can also think about Prahlada and then immediately meditate upon Lord Narsimha. So that's beautifully comes in the same shloka. Not just taking as a lion as an animal, but we can also take him as a Narsimha, because Prahlada has come in the same shloka. And then Vainata, Pakshinam, that is in all the birds, I am like the Garuda, Vainata. Because Vainateyaha is because he's Vinata's putra, he becomes Vainateyaha, Garuda. And because Garuda is also the Vahana for Mahavishnu, and that he is of utmost strength, and he is one that also he brought that Meru, I said before, to do the churn, the ocean churning. And Pavanaha Pavata Masmi. I am like the purifier. Pavanaha means itself means purifier. Who is that Pavanaha? The wind god. Wind god. So that's why we say Pavana Kumaraha in for Anumanas, right? So of all the purifier, I'm there as a wind who purifies everything in this world. And Shastra Britam Aham Ramaha. Shastra Britam means one who has got the weapon which leaves the hand. Astra means our Lord Attempt told you, which remains in the hand. Shastra means that which leaves your hand, like a missile or anything. So in that, one who has got the best of Shastra Brita, that is in his hand, I am like the Lord Rama himself. So Rama is also one amongst me. That he says, his lordship of that one comes from me. And Bhagavan says. So you see here, Krishna is even gone one step beyond Rama in this one. And Jashana Makaraha. Jashana means of all the water living creatures, I am like the crocodile. Makaraha. I am like the crocodile. And Srotasa must be Janhavi. Of all the rivers, I am like the Ganga river. And it's also known as Janhavi. She's got a lot of name, right? The Ganga came from Vishnu's pada, and then from there it came to Shiva's head, and from there then Bhagirathi brought it to earth, etc. Right? So it's also called Bhagirathi. And also there was a Muni called Janhu. That Janhu Muni is from his nose it came, I believe. That's why she is also called Janhavi. And Sarganam Adirantascha Madhyam Chaivaham Arjuna. In all this creation, Sarga means this creation. In this creation, I am from the beginning, and in the middle, and also in the Antaha. I am the one in all the creation, encompassing all the objects in this world, living, non-living, planets, cosmos, everything. And Vidyanam Adhyatma Vidya. In all the knowledge that you can obtain in this world, I am the Adhyatma Vidya or the Brahma Vidya. And that also says in your Mundakopanishad, you might have heard, Ve Vidye Veditavye Itihasmap Yat Itihasmap Yat Brahma Vido Vadanti Parachaiva Paracha. That there are two types of Vidya, Para Vidya and Apara Vidya. I am like that Para Vidya. That Para Vidya is what's called Brahma Vidya. That Brahma Vidya is Adhyatma Vidya. And that's what he says. I am like that Vidya, which is for the Atma Vidya, which is what we are all seeking through this Bhagavad Gita. And in the Prabhadatam, in people who are discussing amongst themselves, I am like the Vadaha. Vadaha means discussion. So Vadaha, is clear. It is divided into three different ones in our scriptures. Vada means discussion with a open-mindedness, logical comments, and there is each person when he's trying to put the point across, they want to come to a conclusion that, okay, if you have got the much better logic, I want to listen to you, and I want to, so there's a mutual understanding to learn from one another, but purely by logic. And there ends in a benefit for both of the people who are doing the discussion. That's a vada. That's why Bhagavan says, that's I am that. What are the other one is? One is called Vitanda Vada. Vitanda Vada means that person is discussing not for the common goal, only to negate the other person. You say this is white, you'll say, no, there is a bit of a gray. It's not completely white. There is something there I can see in the corner. No, it is not absolutely. When you say, no, okay, it's black. No, I can see some white. So he will only want to keep on negating you. Like you see on the parliament. And then other one is called Jalpa. Jalpa is this person is just enforcing only his point, not wanting to listen to the other one. But just closing his eyes, he just wants to keep on putting his point only across, not listening to anyone, with a complete ego. You all don't know anything. I am the one. And that's a Jalpa. Jalpa literally means blabbering. So that's why Bhagavan says, the discussion with a mutual, like what all we did, like, Pratipaksha and all those sort of things. Then Aksharanam Akaraha Asmi. I am like the word A in the swaras, that is in the vowels. I am like the word A as how it is in vowel, without which no other letter, no other pronunciation can be happening. So I am Aksharanam Akaraha Asmi. That it is like the one that pervades every other vowels, conjuncts, consonants, and everything. So that is why I am like the word A in the whole of letters. And Dvantvaha Samasikas. In the samasam, normally when we say, the plural becomes samasam. In the samasaha in Sanskrit grammar means compound words. Compound words means a mixture of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It can go to even 10. It can go like that. You can keep compounding the word. But when we compound the words, there are divided into different samasaha. And even here also, I can give you some of them. Okay, I'll just tell you first what is a samasa here. Samasa, when you say compound words, it's like say Devarishi. Very easy. Devarishi is a samasa. Devanam Rishi, Devarishi. So, Devanam Rishi means that is a tatpur, that is in this Deva Rishi, which is important, Deva or Rishi? Rishi is important, right? Because of all the devas, I am the for the devas, I am the Rishi. So that means the second one is the most important one. So these are all what called Tatpurusha Samasa. So you understand now. So Tatpurusha Samasa is where the second portion is the one that is succeeding word is the one that plays importance over the previous one. And there is another samasa called Abjayi Bhava. In the Abjayi Bhava, the first word bears more predominance. For example, Yata Shakti. In that, Yata is what is really giving the precedence, because only because of the Yata that Shakti comes. So that becomes Abjayi Bhava, where the first word becomes very important. And there is one called Bahuvrihi. Bahuvrihi means both the words have got no importance because it represents something outside. Gudakesha. Gudakesha means one, it is got two meaning. One has got abundant hair, thick hair, like, and or one who has got one over the sleeve. But Gudakesha we know is Arjuna. So Gudakesha by itself doesn't give importance, but it is important for Arjuna. So that's a Bahuvrihi. So Gudakesha is a Bahuvrihi. But when we say Ramakrishna, then it's a Dvanda Samasa, because in both Rama and Krishna, there is a, both are important. So Dvanda Samasa, where both the words are important, Rama Lakshmana, something like that, they are all Dvanta Samasa. So he says, in the grammar of Samasam, I am like a Dvanta, where each word are equally important. And in the Kalaha, Ahameva Akshaya Kalaha. So he says, Akshaya Kalaha. Kalaha here means in the unmeasurable, undecaying lordship of all the times. I am like the Kalaha. Kalaha means here is the Kalosmi, that one that in the Vishwarupa Darshan Bhagavan says, Kalosmi Kala Kshayakrit Prabhuddha. That Kala is Bhagavan. Akshaya. Because he cannot be, Kshaya means to destroy. But even when the time depletes, he stands. When everything is destroyed, he stands alone. That is why he says, I am the Kala. Because you to be the Kala here, not the time, that Kala. Kalos mean Kala. In this Kala is here, this Kala is the one that remains up to the last thing is destructed in this world. Because he cannot be destroyed. Akshayaha. And Akshayaha, Kalaha is Aham. That's what Bhagavan says here. Data Aham, Data, in all of one who is doing the Pala Data, Aham Vishwato Mukha. I am the one who has got this, every direction, because I give for everyone with no partiality, no parapaksha. Vishwato Mukha. That's why that Vishwato Mukha has come. One mukha means I'm only looking at this direction. But because I'm looking at all direction, data, that paradata, I'm impartial in giving the fruits to everyone. That's the only thing that just. Okay. And then Mrityugu Sarva Harascha. Sarva Hara means to take everything. So you think we have got everything, but what is the one that takes everything away from individual context? Mrityu. The death takes everything away. Whatever we think that possession we have today, in context of this body and this particular name and everything, but the Mrityu takes everything away. So he says, Mrityu Sarvaharaha, in terms of wealth and everything, whatever we may have in this particular Janma. Mrityu Sarvaharascha, Udbhavascha Bhavishyatam. Udbhava means I am the one who is making the future happening. Meaning to say, you have sown some seeds, but the seed will have to bear its fruits and have to give you some future, right? In the next birth. That's why after Mrityu, he has also got Bhavishyata. So the one that is going to give you the shape for the next birth or whatever that he is going to do in the future, that Udbhavaha, that one who is giving that spring forth, that energy for even a plant to do, you can only sow the seed. But for the seed to spring is not in your hand. You can put 5 seeds in the same thing. Each one of them will grow different. If you can absolutely measure, none of them will grow the same. So that growth by which after you having sown the seed, but how it grows, that one is not in your hand. That's only me, the Ishvara. Same thing for us in the next birth. That's what. Then Kirtihi Shri Vak Narinam. Narinam Kirtihi Shri Vakcha Smritir Medha Ditikshama. Of all the Nari, of all the feminine qualities of higher order, that's what you should take. And they are all nothing but the daughters of Daksha Prajapati. Kirtihi. They were all names of those, his daughters. The Kirti one was the fame. And Kirti got married to Dharma, Yamadharma Raja. And Shri is a Mahalakshmi who got married to Lakshmi. Here, Shri. And then Vak, speech, truth, Smriti, that is a memory. Angiras got married into her. And Medha is the Grahana and Dharana Shakti. And Dritiki, fortitude, Kshama, forgiveness, and all these one. So these are all his daughters. That's each one of them represented the excellence of one quality which we attribute to the feminine gender. In that, Bhagavan says all of them has come from only me. And Samna, meaning to say in the Sama Veda, there are four different Sama Veda. In the Samam itself, there are different Samam they call. I am like the Brihat Samam. The Brihat Samam is a special portion of the Samaveda, which is very normally traditionally chanted, after any great yajna, any great puja, everything. They will, whether there is time or not, they will get somebody to chant that Samavedam. When they chant the Sama, they especially do this Brihat Samam. I do not know much about the school, what is a Brihat Samam is, but that's a portion that is very dear, and that greatness of that, even it comes in Vishnu Sahasranam. So that Brihat Samam is what Bhagavan says, me among all the Sama, and of all the Vedas is a Sama Veda, and of all the Sama Veda is a Brihat Sam. So that much Sama Veda has got an importance in Bhagavan's Vibhuti. And of all the Chandas, Chandas means the meter. I am representing as the Gayatri meter, he says. And you know what is this meter we are told? These are all Anushtup meter, right? 8 in every padam, right? And this Gayatri meter is also 8 syllable. But when you say chandas, there are two types of chandas. One is what is called the one that is written by the normal one that we say, the Anushtup meter and all. This is a Pingala is written the Chanda Shastra. In the Pingala Chanda Shastra, Gayatri is 6 syllables, 6, only 6. But in the Vedic Gayatri, in the Vedic Chandas, Gayatri is 8 syllables. But Tatsavidravarenyam will be 7. So that's why it's called Nishrit Gayatri, because one of them has got only 7. But Bargo, there was Bargo, De, Vas, Ya, Di, Ma, Hi. So you got 8. So that's how these are all 8 syllables. In that I am the Gayatri, he says. Masana Margasirshaha. Meaning to say, of all the months, I'm like the Margasirsha month, in which most of the divine things happen and the most sattvic things happen. People get up in the early morning, and then whether it's Shivastuti or Vaishnavastuti, everybody is in the praise of the Lord, and they spend the time. So he says that Masanam Margasirsha, that Margasirsha month in the between the middle of December to middle of January. Ritunam Kusumakaraha. Ritunam means in the seasons, I am like the spring season, because the spring season is where all the new life comes into action. Everything that you sow, beautiful thing comes. The flowers are blooming, even the weeds are blooming. In fact, before the flowers can bloom, weeds bloom first. So most of the time in spring, we are only weeding. So, but having said that, everything, life, good, bad, ugly, everything grows during that spring. So spring is a time of life-bearing factor. So he says, I am that spring. And Dyutam Chalayata must be. In all the deception of people, that to attract you and then deceive you, I am like that in the gambling. The gambling, we can take it in all the different way of gambling in the life. Wherever there is some attraction with a deception, that you say is the gambling. In that gambling effect, by to deceive you, in the deception is also, it's my pravaham only. So Bhagavan says, I am that deception effect through which you go into deceive yourself. That is also him. But in this whole shloka, he slowly goes from tamasic into satvikam. The Dyutam Charata must be a tamas. Then Tejas Vinamaham is more of a rajasic. In that, what he says, this Tejas is that brilliance. That brilliance, that he's a very Tejasvi. I mean, that could come from external or internal. In all that effulgence that comes from one's Tejas, brilliance, that brilliance also comes from me. He says, because there Bhagavan's quality is more embedded through Rajasic aspect. And also Jayosmi, Vyavasayosmi is also Rajas. So Jayosmi means that victory for a king, Kshatriya, right? When he is victorious, that victory lordship, as when he is going to celebrate, how does he celebrate? With that Bhagavan's Ishvara, Aishwaryam, right? The Aishwaryam, that Ishvara Mahatvam is from him. And Vyavasayaha, is actually a Nischaya Buddhi. Nischaya Buddhi is Vyavasaya. Both Jayaha Asmi, Vyavasayaha as well, I am the Asmi. Vyavasaya means that Nischaya Buddhi, that one firm determined mind, you say, no, I will do this or I will not do this. That kind of a Nischaya Buddhi comes as well from me. So you see, slowly progress towards a Sattvic. And at last it says, Sattvam Sattvatamaham. When the people where the Sattvic quality is at most, as they are proceeded from that Sattvic quality also comes from me. And so Krishna says, I am that one, that people of the Sattvatam. And Vrishni Nam Vasudevaha. In the Vrishni Vamsha, where Vrishni is because Vasudeva, that is Lord Sri Krishna, comes from the lunar dynasty. The Vrishni Kula is actually a lunar dynasty. So that is also, they come from the, if you people have done Bhagavata Mother, you will know that Yadu is first one. After Yadu come Vrishni, then Sura, then Vasudeva and Sri Krishna. They come in that kind of a dynasty. In that Vrishni Nam, I'm that Sri Krishna, Vasudeva. And Pandavanam Dhananjaya. Of all the Panduputras, the 5 Putras, I am like Arjuna himself. Because why Bhagavan has brought them is, they are actually Nara Narayana. And Arjuna is the Nara and Bhagavan Sri Krishna is Narayana. So Nara Narayana, or they both are them, they are so one to each other. So that's why Bhagavan has put both of them together in the first line. And Muninam Apyaham Vyasaha. Muni means the Manana Sheelaha. Meaning to say, the people who are able to contemplate in their mind and to reveal the utmost to truth. I am like Vyasaha. And who is writing this? Vyasa himself. Isn't it? And Vyasa is the one who was given us the utmost scriptures and everything. Because he was able to meditate and give from that. So he gives that quality of everything that Vyasa depicts, we can praise about him. That also he says, Bhagavan, it is from my Aishwaryam. And Kavinam Ushana Kavihi. This is Shukracharya. Because Kavi means Kranta Darshinaha, meaning to say they can see the foreseeable future of how things will evolve. Strategist. In fact, you should more put them as a strategist. So in all the strategists, I am the Shukracharya. Because to give a strategy to Asura and even to guide them, if he can do, he says, these got some really good, what can I say, lordship. And that means he must be really good. And that greatness he gives him to, because even for Asura, if he can be a guru and teach them, he says he has got some good strategy. So that strategist with that Kranta Darshini, for them, he gives Ushinam Kavi, that for the Shukracharya, he gives a greatness. And Dandaha Damayata Masmi. Damayata means to enforce Daman, right? When we say Dama Shama, Dama means external control. So when we control the externally outside other people, Damayata, who controls others, Damayaha. The Dama means control yourself, but when Damayata means when to control the other person, other party, Danda is the ultimate one. We've got, Sama, Dana, Veda, Danda. The one that end of the day controls anybody in the world, he says, Danda, the punishment. Nothing like the punishment, which end of the day is the last resort, but that's the main resort among anything to control the other party. That Danda is also me. I am the one. And Jishina, where the Danda? Jigishatam Niti Asmi. Jigeshata means the punishment. After you have given the one, they have to execute the punishment, right? That punishment is how it comes is, it is who is the chief justice? That is Niti, justice. Right? So the Jigishatam, the one who then disciplines and gives the ultimate punishment, for even though the Danda has to be given, Niti, I am the judge. That so every Supreme Court judge, High Court judge, if they are doing the judgment, in that judgment what they do is also me. That impartiality, if that person imbibes, that judgment comes only because of my Aishwaryam. Maunam mai chaivasi gukhyanam. In the person who can keep the utmost secret, in that the silence is my ultimate Aishwaryam, by which all secrets are kept. And at the end, he says, Jnanam Jnanavatamaham. The ones who can then get this Jnani Bhakta by knowing all my Aishwaryam. And if at all any wisdom takes place in you, in your jnanam, from the lowest level to the highest level, that jnanam again is only my pravaham, my Aishwaryam in you. So, and if you, this is where it finishes. I finished 17 and Vibhuti. But the great thing you want to really look at is Jnanam Jnanavatamaham, the one that Bhagavan finishes, and the first one, Ahamatma Gudakesha, they both really encapsulate everything, isn't it? So Ahamatma Gudakesha, that's ultimate jnanam. So in between everything is so and so, so and so, so and so, and then Bhagavan summarizes with saying, Jnanam Jnanavatamaham. Thus, all the knowledge that encapsulates in this Vibhuti, that knowledge you get for that to get the mukti, is all that me, the Jnanam, through which that Jnana Deepam Bhasvate. Because Bhagavan said, I will give you the Jnana Deepam. For the Jnana, the Tailam, the oil, Bhagavan has given through this Vibhuti Yoga. And then he says to Arjuna, Yachapi sarva bhutanam bijam tatam Arjuna, nattadasti vina yachat maya bhutam characham. So Arjuna, because I am the seed, sarva bhutanam. So that seed is the one, cause is the one with all this effect have been pervaded through. Without which Bhutam Characharam, nothing in this world can exist or even have any context even without my seed being sown. That's for Arjuna. Nantosti mama dibhyanam vibhutim nam parantapa. So Arjuna, for my vibhuti, whatever I have revealed you so far, through 79 examples, there is no end. Mama dibhyanam parantapa. There is no end. But Yesha, Tuddeshada Proktaha Vibhutir Vistaram. Whatever I told you that I will give you in Vistaraha, Yaham, Uddeshataha Proktaha. Uddeshataha means to the absolute context of whatever that is required as a sample of the sample that I have given you revealed, so that if you can even take one of them or many of them and contemplate on them, you will certainly be able to get my Vibhuti, my Akantakara Vritti, and with which you can certainly know my Aishwaram in my Ishwara Tattvam. So that's what Bhagavan has given in this by saying that Vibhutir Vistaromaya. Yet Vibhutimat Sattvam Srimad Urjitam Eva Tattadeva Avagachatvam Mamate Josha Sambhavam. Avagacha means know this. Avagacha is very important. Yet Vibhutim Matsatvam. Whatever Vibhuti you see, not only this one, whatever I said afore, if you are able to see that, that is why I'm sometimes telling you about, even from today's context, think about how this artificial intelligence, regenerative intelligence, everything is coming. It's born, Bhagavan's Srishti, it is coming. And you go more and more into that one, you'll see, wow, how this Bhagavan's glory is manifesting in this. That's why, Yat Vibhuti Mat Sattam, whatever that is going to not only happen even in the future, Shrimat, that endowed with glory of that Mahalakshmi. What is the biggest investment they are doing? They are saying 12 trillion on artificial intelligence. Already the Srimati is coming and sitting there. That artificial intelligence, $12 trillion. People are trying to put 3 trillion, 2 trillion, all in trillion, all in billion. Already the Srimati is coming into that. Urjitam, endowed with abundance of energy that you see. Everything, Tattadeva Avagacham, Mama Tejomcha Sambhavam. All these things are, that's why I just took it as one example. It could happen so much, time is changing. But then in everything, Mama Amshaha, they are just one small portion of my portion of a small fraction. That Amsha is what is this Sambhavam. That is what is happening repeatedly, Arjuna. That is what Avagacha. Avagacha means know this in your mind. Evam Avagacha. Yatyat vibhuti matsatvam, whatever that is, do you see whatever is going to happen or in the future? Everything, that one, avagacha, mama teja amsha sambhavam, that it is all only a fraction of it. But even that, we can grasp it, it's good. And then Bhagavan finishes with saying, Atava bahunetena kimnyatena tavarjuna, vishtabhyaham idam sarvam idam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagate. Atava, what is the point in knowing anything more than this, Arjuna? Jnatena tava Arjuna. Arjuna, Vishtabhyaham idam sarvam krishnam, meaning to say, Atava Arjuna, etena bahuna jnatena kim prayojanam. Kim means kim prayojanam. Simply wanting to know more and more, what is the prayojanam? You understand why Bhagavan has entered this? So that's what we must also say. Because what we are saying, we are again and again going with that one to see that. Kim prayojanam. What you must give the purport of this teaching. Aham, this is the most important thing. Aham, this is here aham. Aham, krishnam, idam, jagat, ekamshena vishtabhya stitaha. Ekamshena. There are infinite multitude faceted of creation. If you think one axis, like there are infinite axes. Every axis goes infinite dimensions. That's his vibhuti. But what's the point in knowing all the axes and all the infinite into one of them and then appreciating? But you know that in all of them, there is only ekamshaha. Aham krishnam, that's why I'm getting more. Aham idam krishnam idam jagat, this whole world, ekamshena vishtabhya. Vishtabhya means having pervaded through sthitaha. With that one amsham. What is that amsham? Aham atma gudakesha. That is the only amsham. That is also not amsham. That is only for doing the dhanam. Because that fraction is what every fraction is a Bhagavan. Bhagavan is not fraction. That's what we wanted to purport this summarizing. Bhagavan cannot be fractioned. But his vibhuti is pervaded through different factions of our perception. But everything, ekamshena, when it subsides, sublimes into that one which is called Ahatma Gudakesha. With that, Bhagavan finishes. And then he says, Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Asu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vibhuti Yogo Nama Dashamo Dhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat. I think I've gone very, very long. I should, I don't know whether.